Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the JMOA Biweekly Blitz Call. The Biweekly Blitz Call is a place where we as a team and a community can share information and experiences which we hope can lead to success for all of us. You know, recruiting is crucial to success in network marketing. I think we all recognize that. But for many of us, particularly the new distributors, recruiting can be intimidating. So tonight, our very special guest will share information with us that will take away the mystery and also the fear out of recruiting. Nancy really has a great resume and is the perfect guest for a recruiting call. She has 3 decades of experience in direct sales and network marketing. She has built amazingly successful businesses worldwide, and she works in the trenches with the distributors and companies, so she really understands. She understands exactly what we have to deal with in terms of building a successful business. And more importantly, she believes and she teaches the power of duplication and what that can do for you financially. Now, that's not all she does. Nancy is also a wife and a mom. She's got 3 active young people as children. All the levels of education are represented in her family. She's got a son in high school, a son in college, and a daughter who has already graduated from college. She believes in family, and she believes that time freedom to spend with those you care about is even more important than income. But you will find that she's also extremely practical. So she believes that making money is like oxygen because you got to pay the bills, right? So she coaches that you can have a balance with both the power of working as a team, okay? Tonight, she will be presenting the inside scoop that can save you years of trial and error in your business. You can just go through the shortcut and she'll take you there. She will be providing quick scripts to help you find qualified business partners and customers. And this is particularly important because right now we are preparing for the hottest season, the hottest selling season of the year for our product. So imagine how many people are looking for a way to earn money for Christmas. This is an opportunity for us to bring those people, to get them to take a look at what JMOA offers. And people are also more likely to connect with you during the holidays. So you can use that to your advantage. And those are great conversation starters that could actually lead to sales. So I'm going to start with a question. First of all, welcome, Nancy, and immediately hit you with a question. Okay, Nancy, given your years of experience, what advice can you give us about the profile of a successful networker? What makes a successful networker?
Okay. Well, thank you, Theta, and thank you for that nice introduction. It's very simple. I think we all need to look in the mirror and decide who we are if we're going to be getting into a network marketing company versus a direct selling company. You need to make that decision before you get in that it is to your relationship with money, because a lot of people have a problem with money. They need money. They say they want to make money, but they almost feel guilty about it. It's like they're almost embarrassed to be successful, or maybe in their family a lot of people have had challenges and they have to keep their success a secret. And to be successful in network marketing, you really have to get over it. You can't sit there and make excuses as to why you're not successful simply because you don't even have goals because you're afraid that you're going to sound greedy or feel greedy. And I've gone through this myself as I have been brought up in a Christian background, and there are some of those people that try to say that your relationship with money is bad. And, they'll say, well, the love of money is in the Bible. It says things like that. Well, that's the love of something. It's not that money is bad. It's when someone's obsessed with something. The love of anything where it's an obsession and you cast other things aside for it, it can get you into trouble. So your first thing you need to know is that if you want to be in network marketing, you have to understand that people being successful financially is absolutely important. And, of course, you have to have great products to do that, of course. but you have to understand that just selling products means that's you doing all the work, and when you stop selling the products, when you stop doing your trade shows or your presentations, hopefully customers will stay on board, and yes, that's great residual income from customers. But it is you doing the work. It will always be you doing the work. And I remember that when I sold for a little crystal company for 3 years, and then was ending up driving 2 hours away one way to hold a party for some ladies of whom I hoped would show up. And one night, my car went off the road in a ditch in a snowstorm, and I had to thumb a ride home with a guy driving a milk truck. And I finally realized that I just couldn't do this anymore. I was experiencing burnout because no one taught me how to leverage myself by teaching other people to do what I do. And thus, when the word network marketing came into my life, I fully understood that what network marketing means being able to earn income, but not just by your own efforts, by everyone working together. And that is such a better place to be if you're going to be doing a business.
I can just imagine you in that milk truck. And Kathy, she was probably in Chicago, when that happened. But you're absolutely right, Nancy. I mean, I think that in order to be successful in network marketing, what you're basically saying is know yourself, know what's important to you, know what drives you, towards success, and then you will make it in this business. And don't be afraid to be successful. You're absolutely right. Too many of us, men and women alike, won't even try. It's not just fear of failure. It's also, oh my gosh, I am so unprepared for success. And we need to turn off that way of thinking. And we need to take that block, away from us. So thank you for that, Nancy. Now, now that you have helped us define what it is we are looking for, not just in others, but also in ourselves, the next question, I guess, is how do you find them? How do you recruit effectively? Please share, several tips about effective recruiting with us.
Well, I'm sure that, for example, if you go someplace and someone walks up to you and says, Theta, I love your dress, or I love your purse that you're carrying, or I love your hairstyle, where did you get that done? That is a common thing, especially among women, to notice something and maybe compliment, but not common enough. And in order for us to be successful in any business, we can't be closed-minded. We have to be open, and we have to be willing to invite people into our aura, into our presence. And the way to do that, to get their wall down, especially if you don't know them, is to compliment them. So I'm going to give you some examples. Let's say, for example, I'm in the mall, and I'm shopping. The best time to shop in a mall, if you want to meet some people that have some education but possibly aren't satisfied with their job, is to shop in the afternoon between the hours of 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock while the store managers are in there all by themselves. There's no customers. They're basically hanging up clothes and probably had to get up early in the morning, so they're starting to feel tired. And you walk in their store, you see them there, check out their appearance, look at do they care about themselves? Do they look like they're someone that you would want in your business? Maybe they'll come up to you and say, hey, can I help you? And you know what? You could say, well, I'm just having a great day today shopping. Just say, but I was just curious. And you're going to start a conversation. And you're going to ask how old their store is. You say, wow, and you're going to give a compliment to the store because it may be odd for you to compliment them unless they're worthy. If they have a really cute outfit on, you can say, oh my gosh, I love that outfit. Is that something that you got here or someplace else? But you're going to give a compliment either to themselves or to the place where they work. And so I might say, oh, this is a great store. How old is this store? And all I really want to know, guys, is I want to know how long they've worked there. And the reason why I want to know that is because it gives me an idea of the next question. So I'm going to say, how long have you worked here? And maybe she says, I've worked here for 3 months. Well, that's not very long for them to make a really big decision and for me to really know much about them. So I might say, well, what did you do before that? Just out of curiosity. You're a really sharp person. And then they might say, oh, yeah, I worked for 5 years here or there. Okay, good enough. So now I've got some history on them. And the next thing I might say to them then is, so what is your goal with the job that you have here? I mean, this is really a great story. You wanting to be a manager, or you are the manager? You want, how does it work? Like, did they have corporate levels? So I'm just basically, I'm actually a secret recruiter. I'm a secret recruiter, no different than if I was working for a large corporation and they sent me out on a mission to find somebody that has sales experience, has a great personality, is sharp, to bring them back to their company and say, hey, I've got somebody that I think we should hire for our company. Same philosophy. So all I want to know is how long they've worked at their job or whatever they've done in the job and what their goals are with the job. And you'll see two things happen. You'll see the person either go blank because they can't even think of goals because they've never been allowed to have them, especially in companies that are very suppressive, and they tell you what you're going to get to do, but you don't get to really climb the ladder very well, not much opportunity. So you might see them shut down and say, oh, well, I guess, I don't know, do something else or retire. Some people will say retire. But keep in mind, retirement these days means get another job, basically. So you just listen, watch how they handle it, watch how they do things, and think to yourself, if you had somebody on your team, is this person somebody you'd want on your team to really do something fun with? And remember, this person may win a trip with you and go on vacation with you. Do you like this person? Would they want to go? Would you want them to go on vacation with? So that's one way. Now, here, I'm going to give you an example. I was in the airport coming back from Washington, D.C. I'm standing in line, and this lady had these cool little dreadlock things in her hair. And I knew she was from Detroit, and I was wanting to expand some business there if I could. And so I said, while we were standing in line, I said, so are you going to Detroit? And she said, yes, I am. And I said, well, your hair is the coolest. I just want you to know that. And she goes, oh, I just had it done. And I said, oh, it is so cool. I kind of reached my hand up to kind of look at it, but I didn't touch her or anything. So she goes, no, you can touch them. So I touched little dreadlocks and stuff. We were laughing. And I said, it is really cool. I said, so what do you do? And she says, well, I'm a minister. I said, oh, that's wonderful. That's great. I said, well, I don't know. Maybe you can help me. I said, I'm working with a company that's expanding. Now, if you have a notebook there or notes and pen paper, you want to write that down. I'm working with a company that's expanding, and they're looking for sharp people, and there's really some serious opportunity there financially. I don't know if you could help me, but could I ask permission to send you an email about what our company's doing? And if anything, I would appreciate your coaching or your referrals to the right person. And she said, sure. So I whip out my little autograph book. I have a little tiny autograph book, just a plain little notebook in my purse. And I said, okay, and I write it down. What is your email? I start with that. And I get the email, okay, and your name. And she gave me her first name. And I said, great. And can I text you so I can let you know when I send it so you're not sitting there waiting for it? She goes, sure. So that's how I got her cell phone number, by asking her if I could text her. Because people aren't afraid of texting, but if you say, well, I want your phone number, that feels different to them. So you'll get their number faster if you say, can I text you? So I got her number. I get home, and then I emailed her some information, and then she emailed me back right away, and she said, oh, you need to talk to so-and-so. She is down in North Carolina, and she's very entrepreneurial. Get in touch with her. And she goes, and I already called her and told her about you. So before I even had a chance to call down there, the lady had already called me, but I missed her call. And so then I came back around, and then I called her and got to talk to her. What a wonderful lady down there in North Carolina, very entrepreneurial. She runs a solar panel company. And I was just talking about, the power of what we're doing. And we were talking about the election. And I said, all these politicians, I just got back from Washington, and the one thing I learned was that they just can't seem to get anything done because they can't agree on anything. And I said, I work with a project where we just all work together, and we don't even worry about that. When we make things happen together, we all fish out of the same pond. We all help each other financially moving forward, buying products from that pond and services and support. And I said, you're a very sharp lady. I said, I would love to work with you. I said, could I get permission to send you an email and let you see the project? She goes, absolutely, I'd love to see it. She goes, sounds like a wonderful program. So tomorrow I'm supposed to follow up with her. But I want to let you know, guys, that it's really simple. Basically, you just want to know, what they do for a living. That's how I start. What do you do for a living? How long have you been doing it? and what are your goals? So in the case with the gal that I met, her name is Grateful, that I met up in Detroit. I asked her what her goals were. She goes, well, I really want to expand my ministry. I really want to do some things, maybe travel over to Africa. So I saw that her vision was in a different situation than maybe this. And I could be wrong, but I just didn't feel like it was going to be a good push to push her in the direction of network marketing. So I said, well, you might be able to help me. I said, if I could show you my project, would you give me some coaching? You might be able to connect me to the right person. So she had it in front of her. She saw it herself, and she never raised her hand that this was for her. But she did raise her hand. It was for her friend. So there you go. So it's just a nice conversation. Compliment, ask about their job and what their goals are with their job, and then just tell them your company's expanding. They're looking for sharp people, and there's a wonderful, serious opportunity financially, part-time, full-time, flexible hours, work where you want, from when you want. It's all there. Just get permission to send them the information. They'll always say yes.
I love that approach, Nancy, because, one, you're being vigilant, right? So you're paying attention to what they're telling you. You're pre-qualifying them as you go through. And you're saying, I don't want everyone on my team. I want the certain type of personality because based on my experience, based on how I work, these are the types of people that I would like to be successful along with me. And I think that's key because, a lot of people, when we start in network marketing, we just want everyone, right? So I love the fact that you pre-qualify, the fact that you're listening to their goals, and really what I like the most about your approach is that it is not at all intrusive. It flows very nicely with the conversation itself. So people don't feel, one, wary or, suspicious, right? And they're just really willing to share information with you, and in this case, okay, maybe she wasn't thinking of herself because, as you mentioned, her goals were in a different direction. But she immediately, because of your approach, because of the friendliness, because of the openness, she immediately thought of other people, who could benefit from what you were offering. So I think, again, the natural conversation flow is also, I think, part of the success of that approach. So thank you, for those very simple and tips that you can easily utilize, immediately. Now, Nancy, you and I both know that, network marketing is we all know about building relations and also building trust. And there's kind of an etiquette in this industry, right, that allows you to build both trust and relationships very successfully. But this etiquette is very seldom taught. Would you share some of your thoughts on sort of this code of conduct in our industry? And because if you know them, I think, you become much more successful.
Sure, absolutely. Well, when you're, for example, Theta, let's say, for example, I was you were my upline. You're the person that introduced me to the company, and I bring in Kathy, and Kathy and I start building the business, and we're going along, and everything's good. And let's say, Theta, you find something that you're really excited about that you want to add to your portfolio. It may not be network marketing, maybe something else, or it may be network marketing, but you don't think that it would conflict. And let's say I'm on vacation, and Kathy is there, and you work with her and train her and help her anyways. And then let's say you contact Kathy, and you say, hey, Kathy, listen, I've got this wonderful software that can really help your business be more successful, and I want to send the link over to you. I think it'll be really great. Now, in your mind, you're thinking, I'm just trying to help Kathy. I can't get a hold of Nancy. She's away on vacation. So I don't think Nancy would mind. I'm just going to help Kathy. So Kathy signs up for the software, and she starts using it, and it takes Kathy down a totally different path. So Kathy stops doing meetings, home meetings or coffee meetings, and decides she's just going to go online, and she's going to do Facebook. And so Kathy, so I come back from vacation, and I've trained Kathy a certain way, and now Kathy's using this new software, and she's now completely stopped the training that we gave her, and she's now gone off in a totally different direction. And she's going to do Facebook or do something different. Now, is there really a problem with that? Well, it's a free country, that's true. But the problem is that that person broke the code. And there is a code of courtesy and a code of ethics in network marketing where a person, if you're going to approach someone in someone else's downline, should only do so with the permission of the upline who brought those people in, not jumping under them and then trying to segue them off into something that they want them to do. Now, mind you, we're all in the same line in a binary, but yet in the sponsor tree, we are not. Because you see, if Theta had sponsored me, I would be in her one leg, and if Theta had sponsored Kathy, it would be okay because Kathy would have been a personal sponsorship to her. But in this story, I sponsored Kathy. And for Theta to jump down and to go solicit Kathy to go into something different is a conflict of interest. And it actually is a breakage in most companies' policies and procedures. It's actually considered to be a form of cross-line recruiting because that person doesn't belong to you. You did not sponsor them into the business. The reason why that person's in the business is not because of you. It's because someone else brought them in below you. So it becomes a conflict and actually could be cause for termination. And it depends on, like if I came back from vacation and said, you know, Theta, you came into my group, you talked to my girl Kathy, you got her all messed up, she's now bought something from you, you made a commission, and I'm completely cut out of that as well, and you did it without my permission. It causes hurt feelings, it causes mistrust, anger sometimes, even hatred. I've seen people whose relationships have completely been severed because this trust factor was broken. So when you're in business, just because you are the upline to someone does not give you the right to go into the downline and solicit them for something without the permission of the sponsor who brought them in. And if that person says, yeah, it's okay, well, there's another sponsor above them. So anyone basically between you and that person, so if that person's on your 20th level and you're down there soliciting them for something, you're actually breaking a huge rule because the person, if they get segued away or they take off and go and they leave the company because of you, you've actually lost that whole lineage of people, their commissions. So it's very serious, and I've seen lawyers get involved for things like this. So it is not what we do in this industry. We always ask permission before we go and we talk to anyone in a downline that is not our personal sponsored person. And for new people coming in, they might say, oh, I don't understand that. Well, I should be free to go do what I want. Well, you are, but the person who is causing the problem is not. The person who is soliciting you is not free to do that. That is a conflict of interest, and it's a conflict in the lineage of the line and of the group. Now, someone might say, well, what if I'm going to a new company, does that change things? If I'm leaving or going to a new company? Well, if you're taking off and going all by yourself, I guess it wouldn't, and the person who solicited you is going to quit, and they're going to leave and go. But if the whole team is going, then it also could be a conflict. If the whole team was going to move all together, it could be a conflict. So my advice to you is to stay out of other people's business. You work with your own people, work with the people that you personally brought in, and if you have people that you personally mentored because you were the upline, I understand that, but it gives you no right to go into the downline and to solicit those people for your own personal financial gain. And by doing so, causing a rift in the relationships of the upline who may not agree that that is appropriate behavior and causing a challenge. So it's just something that you don't do in this industry. It's not just bad manners, but it can be cause for termination. And so that's a thing that people need to understand. Whether cross-line or an upline person, it doesn't matter. You work with your people, you can support others, but you do not recruit or solicit them into anything else without the permission of the upline and those in between who it would be affected financially.
I think, Nancy, that is very important, and it's something that I think that new people perhaps in their, passion and excitement, right, may sometimes, forget. So thank you so much, for the reminder of the fact that this is a business built on trust, and this is a business built on teams. And I think you gave a very, very good example, of that. We promise to keep this short but substantive, and I hope for the audience that we have done that tonight. Certainly, we have been very, very privileged to have had Nancy, as our guest this evening. So thank you very much for sharing your time, your experience, and more importantly, your insights. And I am sure that our entire team and our entire community will benefit from what they heard here from you tonight. So thank you, everybody, for joining us for this evening. And remember, let's finish 2015 really strong and make 2016 our best year yet. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Take care.